Okay. I'm good. I'm good now. Yep, good. What's good? Yeah. So yeah, as you can probably tell. First off, how are you doing? Happy Sunday, I guess. Happy Sunday, Sunday. Yeah. So yes, I saw the DM taco. I saw the DM. I just woke up, but I mean, I saw the DM. But what's good? What's good? Well, Fishman, that's the thing. Well, okay. First off, I got let's set everything up a little in the order. Okay. First off, yes. How are you doing? Happy Sunday. Second of all, yes, Peggy's is officially dead. A large part of that is due to the ongoing. I mean, I get it though. Like command, like first time, every time a new command pops up, people are gonna want to try it. You know. And three, Fishman, if I'm being real, it's definitely because you definitely overabused it just a little bit to the point where I kind of had no other choice but to but to kind of disable it entirely. So, But I mean, to be fair, it's not entirely the reason. There's actually some other factors on top of that, but yeah, that definitely. It was a good stress test, all things considering. You know? It was a good stress test. Also, Annie, welcome in. Thank you for the 5 stream streak. What did Peggy's do? Well, it's simply put, Peggy's basically timed you out no matter what. And I told and contrary, and even though I told everybody yet the last stream that it was not going that there was not going to get you weren't going to get anything from this. So you were never going to get a single prize out of it. Unlike Uppies, which at least gave you a chance, you know you couldn't get anything for Peggy's unless you were masochistic and you wanted to covet a 1 hour timeout duration. But that's what it is. Third taco, I did get the DM. I just woke up, but also happy 1 year anniversary, taco. Happy 1 year anniversary. As a retired PR guy, I would like to say the Happy Peggy's is more of of the allegation. Yeah, but but that's kind of one thing I did want to advertise. To be fair, I did kind of want to advertise this because to let people know that it's officially dead. It lasted for a good what? It lasted for a good entire stream, but yeah, it's been gone. So yeah. So needless to say, it's officially dead. But anyways, how are you guys doing? Yeah, I know it's relatively late. I to be fair, I was kind of sleeping half the day. Uh, you know, but yeah, that's a hard thing. So, but yeah, how are you guys doing? I am not gonna lie. I mean, again, like everything else on the title, pretty much what I'm gonna do. I have nothing. I have nothing on the agenda at the moment. I just felt like I needed to stream today. I don't know what compelled me to. I don't know why. I mean, apart from obviously addressing the sad and tragic death of exclamation mark Uppy. Well, okay, Uppy's is not officially dead. Far from it. Although I kind of wish it did, but oh well, that's a horror deal. Exclamation mark Peggy's. I just wanted to give it a little brief, quick eulogy. I wanted to make it clear that it had a good run, but it definitely overstayed its welcome. At the end of the day, it's 3:30 in the morning. Yes, I know, Dahlia. I know. But something compelled me. Something told me I need to stream, even though I had nothing planned at the moment. But here I am. Here I am. And also, how are you doing, Dahlia? How do you do? How do you manage to get pegged? Well, that's the other thing. I don't know how I get pegged. I don't know why I keep getting pegged. I don't know why I have still, at this point, still dealing with the pegging allegations about the. Dahlia, I'm surprised you're still awake. I'm surprised. I thought you woke up, Dahlia. I mean, I saw you. I mean, granted, I did see you like in the VC briefly, like doing the usual Saturday thing, but you know. I kind of assumed you were sleeping at that point. It's been a long day, yeah. It's been a relatively long day on my end too. Let me into peg taco. We're not pegging today. I think at this point I needed to I needed to really emphasize the fact that I think I might have to shift my war against uppies into now the war against peggies. Because the thing is that it's kind of gotten pretty it was starting to become really noticeable when I pop into other people's chats nowadays. And instead of people just giving me the usual uppy emotes or like uppies or for shits or whatever, they just hit me with the peggies. You know, they just hit me with the peggies. They try to probe in as much as they can into me, and I just keep denying it. You know, because I don't want it. You know, I have nothing to do with this. Yeah, well, Fishman, I'm not gonna lie. It's really your antics have really started to completely irk me really badly now, and not and like be like to like really really badly. I'm not gonna lie. So you know, it's really it's gotten yeah. It's giving up finding. No, it's more like I have a more probing issue at hand that's been kind of aching in my both brain and my loins, and not the good kind of aching in the loins. While I get ready to bed, yeah, have a good lurk. You know, it's kind of gotten it got, but yeah, it got really bad. Anyways, but yeah, happy Sunday, happy Sunday. Yeah, I don't know. That was pretty much it. So yeah, it was a wonderful stream. 15 minutes was all good and all. So yeah, we don't even end with marbles. This is a shame, you know. No, actually, to be fair, no, we could probably do something today. Problem is that I don't have a lot. Again, don't have a lot on the agenda. Like clips wise, I could directly make a clip, but the problem is right now is that I definitely if any I don't have much to do today. If anything, actually to be fair, I do have some stuff to do, but it's more on like whether or not I could actually put out shit. And honestly, I could put out shit, and honestly, I probably should put out shit right now. That's what it is. Oh, sorry, you doing, Baggy? Um, also, but yeah, I don't know. I guess we could always do marbles for like another 2 hours, but I feel like that's a little too obvious. Like we could do a little something in between all that. I just wanted to peg your. You can't. Ugh. Taco, I think there are better things to celebrate our 1 year friendship than to peg me. You know, than to peg your favorite kitty. I guess. You know, I think there are better ways to go about it. Go get some sleep instead of work. Yeah. How are you guys still up? Now I'm curious. How are you guys are still up at this time? You know, I kind of assume that you guys will probably be like beyond dead at this point. You know, but you know, who knows? Who knows? Um, but yeah, 4 a.m. Yeah, I know, Bell. Also, how are you doing, Bell? Yes, I know it's 4 a.m. I overslept. I got and I ain't had anything better to do today, so I hit the live buttons and figured see what happens from there. Okay, sit in the corner chair and watch. I mean, look, Fishman, the chair is always available no matter what. You know, it's always available. You know, I should develop a caffeine dish. I I mean, you could theoretically, but the problem is like I don't. I think I have way too much tolerance to caffeine. I literally have been drinking. I literally drank like maybe like roughly around like 4 scoops of like worth of gamer subs, and it still kept me like dead asleep even at this point. You know, so I don't know. But yeah, no, I don't know. Here I am now. I could maybe I don't know. Maybe I could try to make something, but honestly, it does. I feel like if I try to make something on a whim, and it's aka like trying to find something to like on in the middle stream, it doesn't make for as much of a good clip. I don't know. I could be wrong. I could theoretically be wrong. Anyways, I just am trying to get all my ramblings out. But what's good? What's good? So, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what do I do? What do I do for at least an hour or so? I guess that's the question I have to ask myself. You know, you want to get squashed between Beltos and the Dark Lord? I mean, Taco, listen. I get that it's that time, this time of the night, but I'm pretty sure. Well, to be fair, I think this is kind of. Yeah, I can't tell that's well, Val. Based on your indication, I can't tell if that's a good. I was gonna say, good for you, Val, but I'm not sorry to think otherwise. I don't know. Taco's a treasure. We all adore her. If you have a proposition, Fishman, fine. I'll hear it. What's the proposition? Uh, Give me access to Visa app. How about I got a better proposition, Fishman? How about I raise that up to 3 days and 12 hours every time you use it? I think that might work. I I'll accept that. Okay. All right. Well, but also got to keep in mind it also comes with a 2 week timeout on top of that. Before we agree to these these terms and whatnot. But it is what it is. Anyways, I don't know. I kind of hit the live button. I was like, but now I kind of think maybe I could do something. But honestly, I'm thinking, yeah, I don't know. I'm all I'm thinking about now is just marbles now. I feel like it's way too early to even try to consider doing marbles, but at the same time, no, it's never really too early to do anything, right? For reputational damage, it seems fair. Okay, we'll go. We'll agree to the terms. So it's never too early to play with your balls. Well, the one ball, but I guess it is never too early to play. I guess I don't know. I just to be fair though, I entire if I'm being honest, I kind of spend most of my Saturday just flat dead ass sleeping. I I couldn't be bothered. It's not usually something that I don't know. I guess it's just a rare day where I just kind of figured out like there's not really anything a lot of stuff that I could theoretically think about clipping at the moment, but at the same time, not every day should be a day. You gotta have those times for yourself, right? Uh, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I guess we could do marbles. I guess, but also before I start, I kind of figured out a couple things. One, well, it turns out I was informed earlier today that I got clipped, and it's up on YouTube, or it was a short in particular. Uh, from a particular Fortress spy, who is a noble code bug, and he usually just he'll pop in here from time to time. Yeah, no, he clipped me when I raided into Shumimi like a couple weeks back, and Shumimi was talking about the whole. It's on YouTube. Yeah, I'll just link it out there for you. Yeah, you would get clipped. I kind of thought maybe I could stay. I don't know why I thought it's YouTube. Anyone could clip anybody. To be fair, even if it's like a clipper even if it's like a relatively yeah, I mean, even clippers are not exempt. You live by the clip, you die by the clip at the end of the day. But yeah, no, I got clipped. And honestly, to be fair, Fortress's uh Fortress's stuff is actually pretty good. Like, yeah, or at least he edited pretty well on this one, all things considering. But to be fair, I don't know. I don't. Should I react? I don't. I feel like I can't really react if I already watched it like the first time around, but especially if I'm the first one around. Take pride in being your first clipper, but retire. So lets the cycle turn once more. I Yeah, honestly, it's kind of no different from having someone be your first in general. Like you don't ever forget you know the effort they did to just kind of have you out there, and put you out there. I get it. I get it. That's the first time for anything, and you almost rarely ever forget your first time. I remember. I remember the first time well, Chris, and I can never forget it. So thank you, I guess. But yeah, guess what? Oh, hey, Kara, what's up? Yeah, Kara, actually, I haven't seen you in a while, to be fair. Yeah, you never forget the first time. But, anyways, maybe I should react. Mostly because I can't think of anything out of the ordinary. Uh, who's the first one to give you upbeats? If I was to guess, probably, I'm going to guess probably either Parker Fry, Ginger, or Zen. I'm thinking it's probably usually one of those three, you know? You always remember your first time getting pegged. I remembered. Listen, I think I would have to be pegged to remember my first time being pegged, Taco. I have never been pegged. Contrary to popular belief, I have never officially been pegged, and I do not. I am not looking forward to being pegged. So that's it is what it is. Snuck out for the first time. Well, I mean, listen, I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna patronize you on it, but to be fair, I have snuck out a couple times myself in the past, so yeah, it's fun the first time. I ain't gonna lie, but 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 yeah, don't want to do too much, otherwise they start getting suspicious. Actually, don't add me on that, but just saying. I was your second uppies. Oh yeah, yeah. I remember actually when the uppies command first popped up. It completely I it was 2,000 attempts at the first within like the first hour, the first 2 hours really. Yeah, y'all were insane that one, and you guys are still continue to be insane as we're at 12K now, almost 13 really. But I don't know. I is it sad to admit? Okay, I mean you guys are not gonna think it's sad. I'm gonna think it's sad, but is it sad to? It's sad for me to admit that I am starting to get a little too well adjusted to the uppy command because now I just like because I used to because I see you guys try to give me uppies and I'm like, oh fucking hell again. But now I'm getting to and now it feels like I'm starting to adjust to it. And maybe it's just because of the fact that there's a much stronger a much more recent allegation that's been kind of plaguing the hemisphere, the our little sphere at the moment. So I all this to say, it's I guess it's funny because as much as I want to hate something, there's always going to be arguably worse that somehow always ends up getting to me in the worst way possible. Oh, well, Fishman, I mean, Fishman, you would have gone into the Hall of Uppies if you didn't try to abuse the system. You can't cheat the system. You can't really cheat the system under my eyes because these eyes never forget, except for just a couple times where I'm like passed out or just like completely go on like insomnia levels of sleeplessness. But I remember that. Given enough time, this channel would get a reward for most timeouts. I wouldn't be surprised. Or anything else, I wouldn't be surprised. But yeah. Anyways, hopefully, also just FYI, make sure the music is not overpowering. I think it's okay. Um, but yeah, how are you guys doing? Um, yeah, I don't know, Fishman. I mean, you've been on the Black Book for a reason. You can't like. I don't mind as much as I hate to admit it. I don't mind people trying. They're not gonna get it most of the time, and that's fine by me. But you try to cheat your way to trying to give me uppies, and we're gonna have a problem. Yeah, that's just how things go here in the Shins 312 channel. At the end of the day, you know who gets the most reward? Who gets the reward for most reputational damage caused to you? I mean, I probably would have said David, but to be fair, I think at this point it's probably. I hate to admit it, it's probably gonna be. I'm just gonna give the. I might just have to give the reward to myself, with Wacky being a very close second because I feel like Wacky's gonna tell you that I didn't. He did not. He did exactly nothing. That he said nothing. That I went on my own accord and saying stuff as is. But it's his platform. That's where most of the reputational damage started to begin with. You know, how are the clips in the background determined? Are these just a random or recent? Honestly, a lot of these are just bots I have. So, it's like as you can tell, like as I move to the side, yeah, a lot of these are just bots I happen to have on me at the moment. I mean, a lot of the VODs I kind of have ultimately just like it's funny because like I do have like hundreds of VODs. Like a lot of it just ends up going into the external hard drives that I have. But yeah, the ones I do have that are like currently like they currently download are usually the ones that I kind of have at the moment. Although in this case, this one's been kind of around for like at least what a week if, at best. So yeah, how many terabytes of VODs do I have? I have a honestly, I'm filling up like the one I'm using right now is like roughly 4 terabytes, and I'm already on the verge of filling that one up. I have like a 10 terabyte one ready to go. But yeah, yeah. But yeah, generally speaking, I do have a lot of VODs. Most of obviously you can imagine which ones I kind of usually would have. Obviously, I have a lot. You got the Ellie, you got Ellie's, you got Shimimis, you got Bows. You got the usual ones that you kind of expect. And then there's like some other ones, like some one-off VODs, even VODs for like people that have kind of recently graduated or on the verge of graduating or on a hiatus, or just like people who, or even like for stuff that I ultimately never did, or that I thought of doing, but completely, wasn't able to do. So, but yeah, it's not really there. Footage takes up so much space. My fire is over 40 terabyte for storing the things he films. I might just have to resort. I mean, I might have. I mean, if I keep doing the things I'm doing, when I don't know, but I don't think I'll ever. I want to say I should probably consider investing in something like that, but honestly, I don't think. I don't know if that's gonna be. I don't know because usually, especially with like with VTuber clippers, I don't know the lifespan for that. I think it's relatively short. As much as I hate to admit it, VTuber clipping is. I feel like the lifespan is relatively short, but at the same time, I don't think I can say this for sure because I think we're still in the middle of like the whole VTuber growth as in general. So it's kind of hard to determine who's going to stick around for long, like a decade after the fact, or 5 years after the fact. But yeah, I don't know. Like if it ever gets to that point, if somehow I'm still here, like 5 years after, like if your favorite Clippers in general are still here, like 5 years from now, like then yeah, it'll probably be a situation where I would probably need to get like a 40, like a multi tera, like a massive terabyte like hard drive, NES or whatever, So, but yeah, I don't know. It's it's kind of interesting though, because again, we talk about like live stands, like because I could think about a couple that definitely were pretty prominent like a few years ago, and then just completely have stopped recently. Like I definitely remember Cooksey and Roach Chan definitely like used to kind of be pretty prominent like the last couple of years, and they didn't just completely then they kind of stopped and ultimately like they're still around, but it's like they just kind of stopped. So I always kind of figured, how long does one directly last in that regard? But we'll see. I mean, with me at least, I'll stick. I mean, I'm gonna stick around for as long as I can. you know. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how these go. We'll see how these things go. We talk about life and death here, mostly on the Peggy's command, but I guess we could talk about. I guess it's a fitting theme when you think about it. Anyways, what's Maro? How are you doing? How are you doing? Happy Sunday. Happy late, early, well, happy or very early or morning, I guess. How you doing, Maro? NAS means network attached storage. There's a bunch of yeah. So basically that. I don't think I'll ever get to that point where I need 40 terabytes, but is how dare you kill Peggies? It had to be done, Meryl. It had to be done. If you were here I mean, you were here technically last stream, but it got overly used. There's so much one can take from being pegged so many times. There's so many. There's only so much, right? Well, I mean, not successfully pegged because there was no actual successful pegging, but even attempted pegging can be very, even attempting pegging can be very, you know, sore in its own right. So yeah, no, this, it had a good run, like a whole one day, like a whole like few hours of a good run, but no, unfortunately, it couldn't survive. You know. Well, to be fair, it was you and Jesus realistically, Fishman, but you definitely were going a little too overboard. Admittedly, telling Raiders, "Oh, show them about this new command." It didn't need the advertising. I don't think it needed that. I don't think it needed the advertising. So you know, all this to say, it's all fun, but it gets too far. It gets too far. So yeah, Peggy's is officially gone. It is officially gone, Panda. I'm sorry, but it got. But yeah, one thing led to another, and yeah, that's just how it is. So now we're just. I guess we could just use the stream to mourn. To mourn the short life that's been given to it. So yeah, it's how it is. So and yeah, I I don't know. Do I do a 10-second like? Do I do a 10-second oath of silence to pay its respects? I don't. To be fair, I don't think it's worth respecting. To be fair, maybe this is one of those situations where I look at that command and I just can't help but want to spit in its grave. It didn't deserve. There's a lot of allegations that I don't think I need it right now. This is definitely one of these. This is definitely more than anything else. You know, 07 Aggies. Well, I want to say that's the case. Well, it's the command, unfortunately, because I know everybody else continues to peg me to this very day, or at least try to. I go in, I talk, like I said before, a lot. Like today, from today alone, I only popped into like maybe 3 or 4 people's streams, mostly of my friends' streams, and their first instinct nowadays, instead of giving me uppies, is literally to type in all capital letters Peggies, and it's usually the same 7TV emo of the what of that one woman who I don't know. It's a 7TV emo about someone panting and moaning as they're bent over. I don't know. I don't know if that's the type of thing I want to be associated. Being a say so streamer myself, I don't think this is one of those things where I could be associated with such a you know negligible allegation, right? I think again, say so streamer can't be. Why would I be associated with pegging more than anything else, right? So yeah. Now, and while I may not stop the bit, at the end of the day, I can at least stop the command because I feel like this command definitely helped exasperate the situation more than it needed to. So yeah, no, the command had this good run. Although I get the feeling that the war on Peggy's now is going to be very long and PTSD esque worthy. Just kind of like the war on Uppies. Kind of like Vietnam. The good old days. Anyways. But yeah, I also got clips. Not not like not like spade clip, but like I got clips. And again, debating whether I should react. I'm not. I hate. I don't want to be react. I don't want to do react slop. I don't want to do react slop because half the reaction element is definitely just from the editing streams, but I don't know. It's also hard to kind of react when we literally just saw the first we literally saw already. Got clipped. Lilshins is gonna be right. Yeah, 312 is gonna be is the last lineage. It's gonna. I'm not gonna stick around. I'll be the last of my generation. At the end of the day. But yeah. Gotta make this legacy. Gotta make this last legacy worth it, right? At the end of the day. Reacting to baggy, reacting to just reacting baggy. I mean that I feel like that'd be more of a true clipception than anything else. Because everyone talks about clipception, reacting to a reaction to a reaction. But yeah, and I don't think it's true clipception unless it's clippers reacting to each other. You know, realistically, now I'm kind of curious if we could do that, but I don't know. Anyways, Fafino, welcome in. Yeah, huzzah, Peggy's is dead. It had a good run, so yeah. Anyways, we should probably celebrate. I think we should mourn it the best way we know how, and that's with a nice hour. Well, a nice quiet hour of marbles. I feel like to honor Steph. Well, very much honored Steph. To be fair, it's probably gonna be short stream. I'm not gonna lie, but we'll see. Anyways, Revel, also Revel, what are you doing? All right, but here's what we'll do. Though. Here's what we'll do. I don't even use Peggy's. Well, it's probably a good thing. It was not worth the effort. He asked David to add Peggy's to D stuff so we can continue to. If you tell David to add Peggy's there, he's gonna be flat banned, and I ain't, and I'm being dead serious at this point. Like, yeah, it's there's a lot of there's XCX and then there's like going too far in that situation. And I hardly even go to David's server, but that's gonna really create some problems. I'm not gonna even lie, you know. So it is what it is. Anyways, Rebel Heart. Oh, we're doing well. Okay, fine. I will. Okay, fine. I will watch it. I will. I will watch it. We'll watch it. We'll watch it. How do I do stuff without completely inadvertently doxing myself? You know, XCX2R reap the consequence of my. Trust me, the consequences can be a bit harsh. You're alive. Yeah, I was gonna say I haven't seen you in a while, Rebel. Yeah, I haven't really seen you in a long while. To be being honest, like in not just here, but like in other like everybody else. Yeah, like a full on band. It's I'm not. I'll be honest. It is kind of leaning towards you know midstream. Oh wait, did I even wait? I followed you. Wait, did I follow you? Because I would have known if I would have known if you were streaming. I didn't even follow you. I don't. My bad. My bad. My bad. Hold on one sec. Yeah, okay. It follows you now. My bad. My bad. Anyways, let me try to hmm. What yeah, just making sure I'm not trying to inadvertently dox myself again. Well, not that I've ever doxed myself here before. Usually I'm extremely careful. Usually. Tell my vibes, we'll see how far we'll stretch the XCX. Rebel, I'm being not Rebel, Fishman. I'm being genuinely honest here. It's really if it gets to that point, we're gonna have legit problems. That's all. That's all I can say on the matter. All right, hold on one sec. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Okay, wait. Trying to sorry, trying to make sure everything's good on my end here. Uh, okay, so it's not showing me. I'm not sure why. I don't know. Well, let me try it again or something real quick. Uh, Do, 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 do. Hmm. Uh, Tell me this works. I think okay. I think I got it. Uh, I think I got it. All right. So it's all right. Well, have a good one, Fishman. All right. I don't care. We got docs. The people in base could use more friends. Yeah. They always could at the end of the day. Uh, also OBS got updates, and the thing is, like the audio mixers now, like the mixer's kind of now on the vertical part, like it's now vertically instead of just horizontally, and it's kind of messing me up really bad. You know? Uh, before I really done for anyways, but yeah, Fortress kind of made this steer like not too long ago.
You know what's crazy, Shinsta? My sister, who started streaming like not a while ago now, one day I did.
I just realized. Yeah, you're not even seeing shit. Okay.
You know what's crazy, Shinsta? My sister, who started streaming like not a while ago now, one day I did a collab with her. I think like you stopped by or you rated in or something, and she went, "Uppies for Shinsta!"
Pain. Pain. Absolute pain. Absolute pain. Speaking sound mixers finally got a good equal. Yay, let's go. But also pain. So much pain. Just this image alone. This image hurts me so badly. You know, it's important to give the long cats uppies for their liver health. So you told me that and like a few other benefits, Chris, over on the Discord. But contrary to popular belief, that's a lot of hokey pokey. There's absolutely no merit truth that there's health benefits to picking up a cat who definitely did not want to be picked up to begin with and dangle him around like it's nobody's business. You should have had one of those cat harnesses to your model. Well, I don't have the cat harness here, but a certain truck coon definitely went out of his way to draw me with a harness, and I don't know how to feel about that. Owl does hang out in spaces that make it more likely to run into you than Shimimi does. It's kind of hard. I mean, it's kind of hard to go from that, but yeah. Suicides, I can't believe. Yes, there's no merit of truth or facts to any of the so called science that comes from the benefits of giving your cat uppies. Secretly, they kind of hate it, but at the same time, they just, it is what it is. Anyways, this image continues to but it continues to haunt me to this very day. Well, not from awful particular, but just this. Yeah. Also, Dosen walking in.
And for a second, I thought about my life trajectory. I thought about the timeline that I live in, where my sister, of all people, my older sister, who has a real big girl job and is getting a master's in like very fancy computer science, would say, "Uppies for Shinsta." I started thinking about life, you know. You know what's crazy, Shinsta?
She really made it sound like she really made this sound like it was that it was a lot. It was something that Ava would have never done in the history of her, of in her entire life, that she would never anticipated seeing something like that, which makes me which sounds a little wild because Ava seems, from all accounts, from the times I've seen her on stream and like the times I see her in chat, she seems like the type of person that would have been like that. But I guess it's just living in a scenario where lifting a lawn cat is directly possible. So she had a crisis. Yeah, I think it's just an existential crisis. I guess. I guess it's just how it is.
Uh,
Anyways,
my sister, who started streaming
sorry,
like
I
not
need to watch this
a
again.
while ago now. One day I did a collab with her. I think like you stopped by or you rated in or something. And
I
she
ran
went,
into her.
Uppies for Shinsta! And for a second, I thought about my life trajectory. I thought about the timeline that I live in. Where my sister, of all people, my older sister, who has a real big girl job, and is getting a master's in like very fancy computer science, would say, Uppies for Shinsta! It just, I started thinking about life, you know?
Yeah. To be fair, the moment Uppies even debuted, I had an existential life crisis of my own, and I too, and even now, occasionally I end up thinking about how I got to this point. You know, how I got to from being, you know, a relatively intimidating figure to a cute little long cat on the internet who tries to steer away from all the other uppy attempts in general. Also, how are you doing, Strike? I was friends with will talk. Yeah, I that lore I know for sure. So there is relatively closer. Giving Shimimi existential crisis. Honestly, just seeing the clip is just a constant reminder of where I got to this point. When were you intimidating? When I wasn't a long cat. I like to think that my avatar, or at least the profile pic they see on the YouTube channel of me being wearing a hooded figure, like wearing the hoodie, and like, yeah, I kind of thought that'd be menacing. And the Fugi I kind of had before that was, of the same vein. It was also considered, it also looked a little scary. And, the added elements of like, you never know when someone's just gonna, freaking clip you. You just never know. That's the intimidating fact. And I used to kind of get that. I used to get that a little bit, just a little bit. But it made me feel happy for whatever reason. And then, then I became a long cat. And life has certainly taken a very interesting turn ever since then. I think as soon as you met David, you were. To be fair, I think the moment I met David, it got it. The moment I met David, it was worse. It got worse. It definitely got worse. I don't think it. I don't think, contrary to popular belief, I don't think it caused it outright, but it definitely got worse. It definitely made things a hell of a lot worse. Honestly, I mean, actually, it really didn't get worse until he just flat out stopped streaming, and then now, who gets? But and now I guess fates decide, the gods, the VTuber gods, however you want to believe it, they decided they needed a new target, knew someone to kind of hit with the very interesting situations given to them, for lack of a better term. And yeah, no, now here I am. Once again, getting to the point where a year in, I now have to address allegations on a daily basis, and in this case, addressing the fact that I had to put one command to sleep. So yeah, those types of things. I can't help but think about how I got to this point, and wondering if this is worth it at the end of the day. At the end of the day, but yeah. Anyways, I digress. Though I digress. But that was the that was the short. That was definitely the short but yeah, that's the short. They got clipped. Hopefully, it's the only clip hopefully that's the only clip. That'll be the only clip. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I know the music is louder than me. I can't help it sometimes. Sex trance does its own thing, If it wants to scream and blare into your ears like in like a weird euphoric moment, by all means. But it is what it is. But anyways, but yeah, I'll just pin this message. I'll pin the link. So, but yeah, shout out to Fortress Spy. Again, he's usually hanging around our communities, mostly within the code bugs and shenanigans, I believe. But yeah, he clipped me. You live by the clip, you die by the clip. You know, that's just how that's the life I chose, and it is how it is. It's a good thing I could sleep even before that music kicked off. Yeah, I know. Sorry, sometimes there's nothing like a good. There's nothing like nothing like the good drop at the bass. You have to really get your pump Well, I was gonna say get your pump going, but that makes it sound like I'm talking about like a penis pump. That's not the heart pumping. It really gets your heart pumping, you know? And hopefully I got your guys' hearts pumping too. Almost caught myself there, but it is what it is. You know? Anyways, who wants to play marbles? Who wants to play some marbles? Yet again. I will promise though, like next, at some point. I want to say next week, but probably not. I will try to actually play a game for once, you know? Because I know for the most part, it has just been literally the big three. The yapping, the marbles, the editing. You get all three sometimes here. But yeah. Well, I do have to do something more differently this time around. But we'll see how it goes. Anyways, I'm going to start marbles. Where? Okay, there we go. Haban Payday. I'm kind of very tempted to play Payday more often on stream. And I don't know if that's much of a thing I want to do too much. We'll get Payday with... there won't be a quote-unquote day night, because there was never a date night to begin with. But if David wanted to do another Payday collab, he's more than welcome to bring it. Also, I have other options, you know? I have Underfighter, I have Amber, I have a few other people in mind, you know? If they are up for it. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, all this to say, I relapsed into Payday. I need to play Payday again. God forbid, maybe I should even play Payday 3 I know, which I know is blasphemous, but it's like I kind of, I gotta get it first. I gotta get it. I have to get what I can. Clearly I relapsed onto 2. 2's just been. 2's, you can't go wrong with 2. 2's just goated. 3, it's passable, but it does not have the same charm. It just feels like it just kind of feels like a generic 4-player co-op. The third game in comparison, like there's no charm to it. And even though I think they're trying to add more updates to kind of restore some of that, it's kind of maybe it's classic Payday. Honestly, I'd be surprised if they even are allowed to continue to support the game for a decade. Because I feel like with 2 it was a lot easier to kind of put in support when when nobody was putting too much expectations into it. But 3 it was highly anticipated and then disappointed, and then I know it's kind of there's a difference between how companies are kind of willing to kind of give leeway, as far as how long they'll be willing to support a game. If there's a difference between the 2010s and 2020s in that regard, Also, Jesus, welcome in. It's officially dead, Jesus. It's officially dead. It ain't coming back. And I'm happy. I continue to be happy to this very day. I spit in its grave, and I have no regrets. Because the Peggies have gone way too far. And having a command is definitely not going to help my case. Also because you guys overtly abused it. So, it's what it is. Anyways, let's let me see if this works. Ba, 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 ba. Okay, we got it. Anyways, let me sit down my usual spot. Okay. Anyways, if y'all know the drill. Oh, good night. Okay, have a good night, Taco. And again, Taco, happy 1 year. You know, I do appreciate it. For realsies. Anyways. Make sure you can. Of course, okay, forget it. Also, Also, I did notice you are a mod for Spookster, Jesus. Is that right? Okay, there we go. I think I got it. Anyways, let's shuffle to the board and see where it takes us. You're a mod today. Okay, that might be good to know. Assuming that you're a decent mod, I'll keep that in mind. Mostly because if you know about my situation, you know how it is. Anyways, exclamation mark play if you guys want to join. We'll give it 3 minutes as always, and yeah. Yeah, so it is a bit unfortunate. So Peggies is officially dead. The command of me, at least. But, Uppies is... I don't want to say Uppies is forever. But, the command will still be here against my better judgment. Mostly because I feel like this is kind of like the equivalent of having showing videos of fruit imagery. You know what I'm talking about, right? Like where you have vivid pictures of cartoon fruit dancing around. Yeah, I feel like that's kind of the equivalent. You just have this thing around and it's is how it is. But who knows? Anyways, 2 minutes if you guys want to join. I will be surprised if we get at least 5 people. Because I know. 4 in the morning, 5 in the morning, 3 in the morning marbles. It's insane. And there's probably not gonna be as many people. But who needs a giant crowd when the odds can it's small, it's cozy, and the odds are much greater here. You actually have a chance to win. And everyone knows my races have always been legit. So do what you can. Make what you will. But anyways, exclamation mark play. If you want to join. But yeah, Jesus, I'll keep that in mind because reasons. Obvious reasons. I don't know. I find it hard to kind of I will admit I have kind of found it hard to kind of to sway away from the schedule, from my late night schedule. To be honest, you just threw on me. Well, it's not the worst strategy. I kind of just basically done that to other people too, What's up, Olive? How you doing? Welcome in. Fafina, welcome in as well. Yeah, I don't know. I might do so. If we give maybe an hour of marbles at least, we'll see how it goes, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, exclamation mark play if you want to join. 15 seconds if you want to go. And okay, first race. Chris, it's not exclamation mark join, it's play. Oh wait, you are here. You were here the whole time. Okay, we're good. Oh, I forgot to mention. I definitely want to enable. Okay, next time I do Marvels, I definitely kind of want to do enable like actual boost and like jump routines because it is possible to do. But it has to be as a channel point. So I did goof. I have the 5 a.m. brain. Yeah. I don't know how most people's late night brains, early morning brains go, but I don't know. Mine seems to be very proactive. Like any other point of the day, I'm just like, I don't know. I just feel like I don't feel as motivated, and I don't know why. And I have been trying to steer to a more regular time zone. Like to a more, like I've been trying to steer to a much better like regular normal hour time zone. But it's kind of hard to keep by it because I don't know, these hours feel more comfortable in the best way possible. Well, I mean, it's at my own expense, granted. You know, the expense of my own pristine reputation. You know, definitely not every day you have to deal with like the usual stuff, but you know, it is kind of hard. You know, it is admittedly hard to sway out of that schedule. Needless to say. Also, I got the lead. Not bad. Well, pristine. I do have a strike. Come on. My reputation as a say-so streamer has been pristine for the longest time. It's been taking some hits, admittedly, but you know, it's still pristine. Also, we got an ad break starting soon. I mean, if you got FYI. Look, the digging. Listen, I don't dig per se. Again, I mean, I'll lean into the idea of it, but I don't technically dig. You know, the hole of yours, my hole is fine. It's tight, it's narrow, it's all it needs to be. You know, I've never known you to be say so. I still am say so, but I was definitely very say so early on. So. And I know you were there, Chris. You remember the early years. You remember the early days. You remember how how innocent I was. Anyways, never mind. Look, the hole's tight. Is what I'll say. The hole's all is this to say, you know. Also, Wacky, welcome in. Why are you up? I thought you were, unless you woke up just now. But why? Wacky, why are you up at this point? The holes game. You were more innocent, but I will not say you were innocent. Okay. I mean, I may have trolled around a little bit here and there, but you know, he's been modding. I know, Wacky. I know, because a certain Machado is currently doing a 24-hour stream, and I'm aware, and I understand. Yeah, I definitely understand. Also, congratulations, Olive. First time here on the channel, and you got first place. So not bad. Nicely done. Congratulations. We got plenty more to go. I will admit this has probably not been a very this definitely has not been a very proactive week. It has mostly just been marbles, but. And with a little, it may like one editing session, but you know, I was definitely all over the place this week. Anyways, exclamation mark play if you guys want to join. Also, Lean, welcome in. Welcome in, Lean. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, so, yeah, I don't know. Still trying to slowly wake up just a little bit, but yeah, hope you're doing well. But yeah, like I said, I know Alva's currently doing the 24-hour thing, and I kind of wish she's still hanging in there, all things considering. She's surprisingly hanging in there very well. You have a tracker there for crunching the brain? Yeah, of course. Because here's the thing, Wacky, even though he, despite his straightforward appearance, is a bit of a gremlin underneath that. And sometimes the only way to kind of strain him out is by crunching the brain, because it's good for him, even if he denies it. Even if he'll deny it to you flat out, but it's good for him. It is good for him. It is very good. It's very good for the brain because the brain will will hopefully not scheme as much in the grand scheme of things. Also, I'll get also. But yeah, you love the crisp. I mean, what? There's always a particular crunch that comes with most brains, especially with Wackies, because the crunch is the quote-unquote crunchness per se is not. Well, it's not just crunch. The crunch is there, but it's like minimal. But it's coming from the electrical neurons. It's coming from the neurons that are electric, they're like coming through in the brain. I guess. I don't know. At least that's what I want to believe. I'm literally just thinking anything off the top of my head that would make. That would somehow make sense. Oh. Anyways, all this to say, I'm just rambling and just in a feeble attempt to keep myself up, even though I technically woke up like 2 hours ago. But anyways, that's besides the point. Anyways, 45 seconds if you guys want to join. Nothing you say makes sense. I mean, it is 4 in the morning. You gotta give me some. You gotta cut me some slack, Wacky. You gotta cut me some slack. Also, 30 seconds if you guys want to join. Also before I forget, let me just give a shout out to Aline. There we go. Because Aline, very good artist, very good rigger. Also holds a whole lot of marbles when late. Well, actually, you've been hosting a lot of marbles really recently, Aline. Which I can never say. I would never say is a bad thing. As someone who's hopelessly addicted to marbles, I do enjoy my late night fix. So thank you for that, Aline. Marbles is fun, yeah. Marbles has always been fun, and this side of the community, we definitely cherish our marbles. Not even just beyond me, just like everybody, We just we can't help it. But yeah, exclamation mark wind. He's a marble addict. I'm a shameless one at that. I like you host a marble race. There's probably a good chance I'm gonna pop in at some point. That's just how I be. But yeah. Not a lot going on this week. Oh, hey Spooks, what's good? Wait, Spooks, did you end stream already? Oh wait, you did. Okay, well, you did. You did, and I completely missed. A good chunk of that of that game. Clocking in, clocking out, verse 3M. Here's the thing: 3M should not stop you from doing your job, Spooks, and definitely not because I'm in desperate need of a mod at this point in time, because I'm slowly starting to realize that I definitely need a sufficient mod that could stick around till like 6 in the morning my time, if possible. Oh yeah, Mango. By the way, yeah. Exclamation mark Peggies is gone. it lasted for an entire stream and it's gone. Or into Owl and Vermont instantly added the guy. It's over. I mean, you have to understand, Spooks. You kind of had to understand, even if they didn't. I mean, first off, that emote has got a tier. You can't go wrong with that classic. Like there's nothing wrong with the classic. But at the same time, even if they didn't add that over an Owl stream, she would have found out, and I think there was a good chance she would have added it herself. I mean, come on, she's Shumimi's sister. You have to know that she would have figured this out eventually. You didn't even say hi to his dude mod Jesus. Didn't even say hi. Which I was gonna say, I was surprised because I saw that Jesus got mod. I was like, damn, you must be pretty good. Like Jesus must be pretty good, and he's here all the time. So I was like, oh. Anyways, congratulations, Fafino. Fafino, congratulations. Half of you guys are dead, but Fafino, Strike, Dosen, Wacky, Rebel, you all survived. And congratulations on that one. You know? Oh wait, I'll say hi to the new spook. Yeah, there you go. It was type. Anyways, yeah, don't worry about spooks. Anyways, explanation mark play. If you want to join, I will be here for at least like 45 minutes, at least, give or take an hour. Anyways, explanation mark play. 3 minutes on the clock. At least, I mean, I promise this hour at least. You know, I ain't gonna go around saying, "Oh, this would be the last race." Of course, it would be funny if I just end the stream right after this race. I don't tell you guys, but you know, I would never do that. I think there's a certain limit as how far I would ever troll someone when it comes to marbles. I respect the marble game. You know, he hasn't claimed last race yet. We got at least and I'm just gonna say, all right, we're here for a while, so yeah. But also, exclamation mark play, you want to join? A little over 2 minutes 15 seconds. All right, K-Cat, I'm Hayden 7. Yeah, you have a good one, Spookster. And Intricus, why are you stabbing people? Have a good stream? Yeah, you had a good stream, Spookster. I mean, you didn't get shocked, so I assume that's a good stream. So, but yeah. Nor do I think you got bullied as much, so it's a good stream, all in all. Anyways, exclamation mark play. Minute 40 seconds. Short route was the detour. Intricus, I don't know why you just stabbed. Listen, it's a little too early to kind of stab people at this point. You know, 4 in the morning, you know, people can hardly feel it, so just laying that out, letting you know there. But that's besides the point. Minute 20 seconds if you want to join. If you know you stabbed yourself, I don't know why you did that, but you know, you do you. You do you. But yeah, yeah. It is what it is. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, to be fair, again, there's not much going on with the stream yet again, but, you know, I kind of figured, you know, we pay homage to a short-lived command by and celebrating its death the only way we know how, by playing a good old couple hours worth of marbles. So, yeah. Indeed. XCXS. But yeah. To be fair, I had to kind of give. I know most of you guys are probably, so I'll just reiterate. I kind of had to take it out because, you know, the Peggy's lore is starting to kind of start. It's getting, like I said, it's starting to get a little bit bad, or it's getting more prominent to the point that I feel like if I kept the command, it would have definitely been pushing it further. And I think, you know, it's already bad enough as it is. You know, I'm already dealing with both Peggies. I'm dealing with both Peggies and Pennies and Uppies, and it's just, I cannot. I can only deal with one horrible allegation at a time, guys. You know. No one's gonna try the Peggy's command. It's closed off to everybody. You know, it's dead for a reason. You know, that's why I told you guys pay out. You know, press up to pay respects at the end of the day. You know. Oh, buzz up, Peggy. Fuck you guys, Peggy's command. The digging. Okay. Again, I don't particularly dig, but you know, I do. Well, it could theoretically spawn some worse situations that I think would make Peggy seem like a walk in the park. Yeah, the whole Peggy's thing in general made Uppies feel like a walk in the park. You know, you're literally. I'm not an excavator, okay. There's no mere truth to this, guys. There was never a mere truth to any of that. You know, a lot of this is just from word of mouth. You know, misinformation being spread from everyone's favorite Say So Long Cat. You know, that's just how it is. And there's not much I can do about it because the internet's the internet. You know, what is this map? Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know, but Intricus got first place. It's a really bouncy map. Really bouncy. half of which I think are dead. Most of us are dead at this point, probably. My win streak remains yet. Was the excavator brand? That's right, Cat. Okay. I had nothing to do with the formation, Cat. Also, congratulations, Intricus. Congratulations indeed. Again, half of you guys survived, half of you died. You know, it's been a very brutal Marvel series so far. But hopefully this should be which, you know, surprising on a Sunday of all things, but you know, I digress. Anyways, exclamation mark play, want to join. Again, we're here for a while. Mostly because I woke up late and I need something to get my stream fix out of the way. But you know, no, I figured there'd be no complaints here if I did just Marvels. I feel like if I just did nothing but yapping in Marvels, I feel like you guys would be okay with that, right? Like I wouldn't have to edit clips anymore on stream. You know, people would just, you know, I think it would be viable, all things considering. Probably, maybe. Anyways, exclamation mark play. Although I will admit, this cat's somehow more tired. Even though he woke up just now, you know? Make more clips, we write. I will make more clips. I'll make more clips. To be fair, I probably should. I probably should, you know? And honestly, I'm not sure why, but I've been really feeling like making more. I have said this probably already, but I have been feeling like I recently have felt like I was making, you know, kind of really felt. I'm twisting my words. This is how you can tell I'm completely like all over the place. But I don't know. Really feel like making more streaming clips. To be fair, like the last VOD she had was definitely, yeah, where she was like talking about the brain and everything. It was very interesting, and I know not often stuff like that usually will get clipped because it's like, when it's, conversations about understanding the brain and whatnot, it's not going to be as memorable as like someone talking about like, stuff, but it is what it is. Or, the brain rot stuff. So, I don't know. It was interesting. Brain power. That's how you can tell I'm all over the place. But yeah, no, I did listen into like a good chunk of that, and it is like a constant reminder that it's funny because it's like you almost forget half the time that she was kind of actually on her way to getting her master's, at least, when it comes to like neuroscience. Yeah, and it's always you always kind of forget if you don't like know enough about Shamimi, you almost kind of forget that she is like incredibly smart because of the fact that a lot of her entertainment drives on the more brain rot elements. So which I think maybe probably is a much indicator like how much she I don't know if that's like an indicator of how good how good like she could separate that, but yeah, anyways, that's besides the point. But yeah, actually, it's not besides the point. But I digress. Why you're saying yourself? I don't want to say it's a skill issue, but also it's maybe has something to do with the fact that the command may not be entirely perfect. I got it because I have tested that out a few times, but for some reason it only seems to want to limit itself to the active chatters or people who are just actively chatting within like the last like minute or so, and not the lurkers for some reason. Like the lurkers are completely exempt. Like it's almost strictly just active chatters, So, and it's like if it's just like 3 people, it's gonna be like 3 people, yourself included, But don't worry though, I'll try to fix that out a little bit. But yeah, anyways, sorry. I have been noticing this too. I have been overtly yapping half the time I do these races. But, that's just how things go. It's not like I'm using marbles as a therapy session for, to express my inner thoughts feelings to everything out there. It definitely would not do that. I would never do that, right? I would never do that. Although I will say, I don't think there's anything particularly wrong with that, as long as you understand it's not a true therapy session. So, but yeah, it is how it is. Anyways, Fafino, or never mind, Bell, can lead so far. Torture soul. Right now, my soul has been overtly tortured. For the reasons I don't think it needs to be. I don't think I need to explain it. There's a lot of reasons. Most of it involves a certain hands, a certain pair of hands, and lifting certain cats up against her will, and dangling them around like as though they have no choice. While they have no choice but to comply. Yeah, certainly not. It could be that, right? Certainly. Right. Oh, right. I forgot I was in the lead. Let's fucking go. Again, constant reminder. Fair races, fair and legit. Yeah. And even though technically I have been first place numerous times here, that's just a testament to my skill. Yeah. Surely. Anyways, Dawson, congratulations. See, I told you to get first. Dawson. And Wacky died. It's a good stream. It's a good stream. Well, not like... Well, he died in Marbles. But it's a good stream. So, it's a good race. Anyways, congratulations, Dawson. Congratulations indeed. The car, of course, Rebel. I miss seeing that car, to be fair. Rebel. Anyways, congratulations, Docents. Dawson. I got second, but it was close. And Fafino. Not bad. Everybody else did a great job as well. Oh, he's exclamation mark play if you want to join. If you want to join. Exclamation mark play. 3 minutes on the clock, as always. I will be here. I think you need to take a nap, but Marvels comes first. Only if it's a nap. If you've been up for like 24 hours on end, definitely go out your way to kind of, have work and try to do things else. Yeah, no worries, Lee. Yeah, no worries. I know you're probably busy at your end, and that's kind of the beauty of Marvels, right? You probably figured it out. The beauty of Marvels just having this, you just hit play, exclamation mark play. You let the Marvels do its thing. So yeah, but no worries, Lee. If you need to work, you need to work. It's all good. Or whatever. If you're busy, it's all good. And that goes for everybody else too. So, although I imagine the Lord of the Balls will always give us all, no matter what. So, but yeah, exclamation mark. Okay. We'll go around 4 p.m. So I'm only been awake for 12 hours. I got you. It's you. I got tired after 4. But I think that might be more because like my sleep schedule's all over the place the last couple days. Since it's one ball. The one ball and the only ball that matters. And that's the one I'm racing with. So yeah. Again, due to certain restrictions, I have to also put out a full disclaimer to say that I do not actually have one ball. But I am a uniballer in spirit. I don't technically have one. So, just putting that out there. Full disclaimer. Anyways, a minute 10 seconds if you want to join. I've never played with ball.
Your LB time is over. Please go home. We've had
Your
enough
LB time
of
has
this.
been over indeed. Also, I didn't even hear that alert. Hopefully it went through. He's high. Okay, I mean, I may have hinted on that. But you know, I have yet to see the compelling evidence that's mere speculation. I don't know for sure if there's a ball inside the tail, and you know, I haven't seen any scarring that proves that it was, you know, in there. But it is how it is. What's the chance? Welcome in. Welcome in. Also, 15 seconds. Well, a little over 15 seconds if you want to join. Chance, I have good news to tell you. As we're about to start the race, I have good news. Well, or bad news, I guess, depending on how you look at it. But if you had checked the Discord a couple days ago, I decided a certain someone made a particular meme in relation to the incident, and you know, against my better judgment, I decided to add it as a Discord email, as an email on the Discord server. So, you know, it's there. You know, that's all I'll say. It is funny as hell, admittedly. It is admittedly funny. One of these days you'll re-earn. Well, one day you shall, but unfortunately, Rebel, FYI, I legit do not have any more VIP spots because during the 20-hour stream, I had to give out 20 VIPs because of the increased odds of uppies that day. So, you know, if you do get one, you might have to wait, if at all. So, yeah. Yeah. You know, these things kind of happen. Granted, it was for my own doing, but these things happen. Infinite obvious, yeah, infinite obvious. I feel like I need to give out an alternative at some point. Especially considering I don't have a lot to give out at this point. Not unless you're happy with just certificates, which, by the way, they are still being worked on. But PNG's kind of, you know, has his hands full as it is, so it is what it is. But anyways, Bell, you got the lead so far. Oh, I got the lead too. Oh, never mind. Oh shit, Aline, congratulations. Congratulations, Aline. You actually got first. Let's go. Nicely done. I mean, they're just happy. I mean, most of the time they're just happy when it's not me because they still think I rigged these races. But you know, but they do support each other. It's, you know, we do love our models at the end of the day. So, yeah, but yeah, congratulations. This marks the third, fourth time I unintentionally made an emote. Didn't think it would kill. I mean, you know, Turtle Scar. You have to. I see that. I see that. I see its emote straight. I can't help but think, you know, this would be funny. But the problem was also. But yeah, let me give one more congratulations to Aline as we get to the next race. But yeah, Turtle Scar. To be fair, that type of mentality was also the reason why the Peg This Cat sticker exists in the server. And you know, that kind of backfired on me. I'm just happy that this has not. So, you know, that no way thinks twice about the incident. So I think I'm happy to see that, you know, people just see it as like the dench and like the tail, and that's about it. Anyways, I digress. Explanation more play. Mystero G, welcome in. Welcome in. 3 minutes on the clock if you want to join. Yes, indeed. Probably should try and think about where I should get the gamer subs, or if I should just get water and go back to sleep once I'm done streaming. But oh well. Oh, it's, stuff to worry about afterwards. But yeah, it's all good. Go to sleep after stream, yeah. So probably water's probably the best. Anyways, with that said, I'm gonna have to probably get some water for Rosie. So I will be right back, but if you know your marbles, you know exactly what you need to do in less than 2 minutes. So to all the lurkers or anybody else, it's self-explanatory. ! Play, and I'll be right back. Okay, there we go. A little less than a minute. So I know. Okay, so I don't know why, but I keep thinking about this. But Underfighter, I think, is gonna flat out kill me because he has always watched like my last 20 or 30 so streams, and the fact that I started like 3 in the morning. When he's probably dead asleep right now, I almost feel bad. I go. So Underfighter, if you're watching this at some point via the VOD, I mean, the beauty of the watch streak is you can still watch the VOD, but you did technically miss, Yeah, you can repair streaks. Anyways, we're about to start. Should be up 24 hours a day. I don't think I can mentally handle a 20 plus hour stream. If you're talking about viewers, you are talking about viewers. Yeah, unless you're a fan of me, in that case, yes, stay up 24 hours, stay up to 48. If you're a true fan at the end of the day, obviously. Yeah, don't do that, but it's how it is. Anyways, Ace is in the lead so far. Can you stay up more than 20 hours? Theoretically you can. I mean, if you're talking about like in general, if anybody can, people do have the potential, although obviously do not stay up for more than 3 days, because at that point your body just shuts down. But yeah, if you're talking about me, no, I definitely cannot. I mean, I felt like the closest I ever did was from the 20-hour stream, and I definitely probably could have stayed up for another 4 hours if I could. But I don't know. It is how it is. It does take a lot out of you, though, halfway through. That's for sure. Yeah, I don't know if certain people do it, but they do it. Also, meanwhile, while you got one race over here, I spy another race. I spy another race on the horizon. No, but like chronologically, you can't stay up for more. Yeah, so you did. I mean, for benefit of your own health, obviously you can. It's because, you know. I did 24 hours Factorial a few months back, the last 3 hours. I don't know why I was even built. Yeah. First time I was doing the 20 hours straight, I was just like half-assed. Like halfway through. So, you know. It's funny how it goes, but it's like, you know, when people say they can stay up for as long as they can, but yeah, it ain't worth the effort. You know? Also, congratulations, Jesus. Congratulations indeed. But sorry, take a sip. Also, not gonna lie, I'm also technically multi-racing in other streamers' Marvel races as well. So, you know, I might be a bit distracted. So. But yeah, congratulations, Jesus. Congratulations. Look, strike. I have to get what I can. You know, I may not be able to stream. I don't know if I'm even gonna be streaming tomorrow. So, you know, I gotta get it however I can. I gotta get the fix however I can. Anyways, exclamation mark play here if you want to join. 3 minutes on the clock as always. You know, he needs his fit. Yeah. Keep an eye on things. But yeah, if you guys want to join, as always. But yeah, talk about he's always searching for a vein. Yeah, well, thankfully there's at least 2 active races right now, and well, mine included. So I am more than that. You know, I'm just happy that there's late night Marvels. You know. As we, you know, sit back, we enjoy our Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon, however, whatever part of the day you're from. You know, enjoying seeing balls roll down the hill, roll down the track. You know, listening to high octane pumping sex trance in the mix. You know, what's not to love, right? His bloodstreams in a Marvel race. Yeah. Definitely that and the sex trance, that's for sure. Anyways, exclamation mark play if you want to join. 1 minute 45 seconds if you guys want to join. Well, if you want to join. Also, FYI, Avo's Shmaimai model is very. I'm not gonna lie, it spooks me. I know it's mostly cute, but it does kind of spook just a little bit. You know, like I saw it earlier, and I was like, Jesus! It's almost as it's like the XEX model, or it's like the XEX face model all over again. You know, like if you know, you know. But yeah, anyways, exclamation mark play. It is adorable and horrifying. Yes, it is. Because, you know, one, Shmaimai, but also hearing Avo's voice coming out of that, it's very, I don't know why. It throws me off. Yeah, the Glorp face model too. Anyways, but that's besides the point. Are you in your stream right now? I'm not in. If you're talking about like in chat, technically, but it's mostly just because she has Marvels, you know. Oh, I'm kind of curious if it's possible to do it. She is currently, yeah. I mean, that's kind of what I was referring to. That's what I was referring to, and it's still scary. It's still admittedly scary. Anyways, we're off, and not because of the fact that, you know, and not just because of the fact that I'm a cat and it's a dog, but you know, you played her too. if there's marbles, I'm going to play it. You know, if there's if there's an active marbles race going on, I'm probably going to press type exclamation mark play. You know, no question. Like it doesn't even matter if it's like no somebody don't know. I see race, I see marbles, I'm going to play. You know, the addiction has been very. The addiction, unfortunately, is very real. So you know, but I feel like this is one of those good addictions where it doesn't harm. I wouldn't say it would harm. I don't think it harms me. It doesn't harm the others. Well, unless it counts psychologically, but you know, it is what it is. I am but a simple Twitch user. I see marbles, I exclamation mark play. Exactly. Sometimes things are just as simple as that, you know? You find some marbles on stream or Twitch category types. I haven't really do well. I mean, I'd be lying if I said I didn't do that, something like that at least a few times, but you know, it's certainly how I found some of the marbles, some streamers. I'll admit that. Like I literally found like at least one person that literally does nothing but marbles like every single like 5 days out of the week, you know. And like for some reason, like some of the most hardcore marblers are there. It's like it's literally the street racing. It's almost like street racing, you know. There's like, or like the street racing scene, if that makes sense. Like if you know like how like the early to mid 2000s street racing scene goes, it's like yeah, everybody wants to show off their marble. Everyone wants to show off their ball. You know, like they show off with like the most flashiest stuff, and then they go off to race. At least this time we're not racing for like pink slips, but you know, it's how it is. He's descended to hell. I think we, you know, it's more like we ascended to to the finer depths of Marvel heaven. At the end of the day, your L ball, yes indeed. Also, Cyril Scar, congratulations. Of XCX2R, well, I mean, listen, you're all good, Bushman. I think if I will say though, if you had cranked it up like another notch or two, I probably would have hit the ban button right off the bat. I will admit, you know. But I did held back because you know I knew you. You know you are still you mean well. That's what I mean. So I get it. Even if you did troll a bit too hard, but it's all good. It's all good. Is it? Can you try to give you a heart attack by saying IXCX? Yeah, well, I'm not too phased about the XCX as much anymore. That was the XCX. Oh, that was the XCX. You know, Fishman, how would you like a 2-week vacation? How would you like a 2-week vacation? As we exclamation mark play. That's the one command you can at least do, Fishman. Depends on where you go. Only the lovely island of XCX land. You know? Anyway, it's 4 seconds if you want to join. There's no Jolie. Oh yeah, I don't have a Jolie, Mike. I'd seen the Jolie emote. I forgot what it was. It was like Joel, like you know, it was like Joel, like porcelain made Joel. But I mean, good news though is that I think we have at least one 7TV editor if we have one. Sean, I forgot. Did I give you any perms for 7TV? I kind of forgot. Sounds an awful lot like the land of a certain. It's different. You know, one. Well, you know. I probably should not go down this route because if I start making jokes, it's gonna probably be. I mean, I guess I could make jokes. Hey, don't worry about it, Fishman. Just don't worry. Oh yeah, the Joel thing. So yeah, I did see that, but I was like, I didn't know if I needed it because I don't have exclamation mark fish, and I don't really want exclamation mark fish. I feel like everybody has like exclamation mark fish, and I usually go against the grain. You're off to bed. Yeah, no worries, Rebel. Have a good one. I would like a 30mm vacation to Joel Island if that's possible. How about even better? How about we go to take you to an island where there's no fish, and you get to enjoy all the XCX moments as you can. Joel. I don't know. Although I will say, can't go wrong with Joel, I guess. Yeah, we do highly respect Joel. He needs fish. Yeah, but I think that's a little too on. I want to agree with that, but the thing is, I feel like that's a bit too on the nose answer. I feel like that's what he wants you to answer, and I feel like there's a trick answer to this. A fishing minigame where you fish with the current allegations. I actually kind of like that. Also, we're about to start the next race. Although I feel like the only person that could theoretically do something like that for me, without like, I feel like the only person that could theoretically make a game for me like that would possibly be 1T. But the problem is I don't ever want to like pressure 1T to do it. Because for context, 1T made that like, 1T made the that long cat snake game they made using the emotes. So he does have some level of like basic code, at least enough to make like a basic game like Snake or something, but I definitely that'd be wild. Also, Jesus, you got yeeted out there. Careful with that. But yeah, Lean, you're in the lead so far. If I win the marbles race, can I have back uppy rights? No. No. That's the thing, Fishman. The black book on uppies makes it kind of clear that you're never gonna get those perms back. Though. not perms. You're not gonna get those. You're not gonna get access to it again. That was the risk. That was the whisk of it all. And then it also didn't help with the amount of times you tried to peg me on top of that. So, there was definitely, that didn't help the game. Also, Mysterio, I think you got the lead. Not bad. However, you can always do exclamation mark play whenever I do marble races. So you got that going for you. But you added it. I just used it. It was a feature. Yeah, and then it became a bug. Well, the type of bug that bite my butt way too many times. So, it is how it is. You enjoy it. If I enjoyed it, I don't think we would be holding a funeral procession for the command. But we gave it a wonderful, proceeding, and we're celebrating it the best way we know how, by seeing our balls race, which I think is currently being led by Bell at the moment. Anyways, but yeah, still could be anybody's race. It still could be anybody's race. But it didn't matter at the end because as it turns out, a certain one cat ended up getting the win after all. So, congratulations to me. Again, constant reminder: these races are not rigged. So, just making that clear. Anyways, congratulations to me, Mysterio. You were relatively close, I believe. Yeah, by second. But you know, not bad, not bad. We're gonna probably do maybe a few more races, maybe a few more, maybe a few more. You know, this is the most rigged game you ever. It could be. I mean, listen, if I could have gotten first place every single time, you know. I'm aware of what you did, Fishman. And while thank you for using your 40 bits, we don't do uppies here. Yeah, we definitely don't do uppies here. What we will do is exclamation mark play for yet another race. As always, 3 minutes on the clock. As always. Wait, not bits. Wait, is it bits? It is bits. I mean, okay. To be fair, Fishman, you're only able to do that because you actually paid for. Yeah, you're using actual bits. You know. And unfortunately, I can't stop you in that regard. So, here's what it is. Anyways, exclamation mark play. I am in paid chatter. You are paid menace. I'll give you that, but I'll let it slide for now. Didn't know Marvels had Twitch. Yeah, Marvels will occasionally have Twitch drops. They usually will drop points for you to use. The in-game currency. You get enough, you can get a skin or effect, or any of this stuff here. Like for example, the guy obviously, for example, you look at Sean's. He's got the pink ball. Always go to color. Fishman's got his choice right there. Aline's got hers. I got mine, obviously. Yeah, the current drops are relatively good. So much so that, even if you're just a casual person, like even if you're just a casual Marveler, you'll have more than enough to kind of, you'll have more than enough. So, you'll have more than enough to kind of, give yourself a skin at least. Fishman, you continue to disappoint me. So. Anyways, exclamation mark play. Less than 50 seconds on the clock if you want to join. Love being a disappointment. It's I mean, I'm glad you're enjoying it. I just there's times where it's like but also never under us. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely would never underestimate you, Mr. Fishman. I definitely would never underestimate you. Mm-hmm. Anyways, we're about to go off. I could have done 3 minutes, 12 seconds, but that's a little too on the nose. Anyways, Charles Scholar is here as always. Oh, never mind. Strike God now. Sean's got now. Sorry, I'm slowly just starting to get through just a little bit. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Pray for Joel. Pray for Joel. Alright, so I think after this one, I definitely have one more race in me. I like to think I have one more race in me after this one. After this one, though. But so far, I forgot if it's a lean or Sean that's in the lead. I think it's a lean. So, yeah, we'll see how this one goes. Oh. Oh, I said it was a number. We'll see. I mean, if sleep doesn't get me, the marbles definitely will. But so we'll see where. So we'll see where this one goes. You know. Oh wait, did I win? Oh, sorry, I wasn't paying attention. I won. Won. It's been a good day. Well, it mostly has been a good day. I'm still tired, but it's a good day. And then we may do one. So I don't know. Moment of truth, though. Moment of truth. You know. Moment of truth. Exclamation mark play. I think this should be the last race. So. I mean, not. I'd say like a 6% chance. You know? Sixty percent chance at the end of the day. Yeah, not take no. We're not doing 6-7 again. not today at least. Not today. Not today. Okay, I could tolerate the 6-7s a few other time on our AR time, but no, not this fine Sunday morning. I'll let that go strike. Anyways, mid 20 seconds, we want joy. Exclamation mark play. Well, Fishman, you actually got the very rare. You got a very rare successful moment there. Anyways, less than me if you want to join! Exclamation mark play. Also, pirate, welcome in. Wait, how do you? Oh, there you go. Anyways, we're off to the final. Should be the final. What should be the final race? So we should be off. So. Yeah, honestly, it's probably the worst me about to sleep because I'm just like, oh, here we go again. But yeah, so far, Fino, Turtle Scholar, you're in the lead right now. Oh shit, ad break. Alright, hurry up, guys, hurry. But congratulations, Turtle Scholar. FYI, if the race ends in the middle of an ad break, I can't end the race. Because, mostly because it's due to, like, reason. Feels like it'd be a bit rude, right? So, is what it is. Turtle Scholar, congratulations. Now, we did end before the ads were about to start, although, although I probably will have to end due to Fishman's constant pestering. But it is what it is. Fine. We'll do one more game. Exclamation mark play if you want to join. I almost kind of forgot that I was still doing Marvels. So. Yeah, it's a 24-hour stream, so. Oh shit, I forgot. 3-minute ad break. Sorry, I'm still trying to keep myself awake. But this should be the last one for sure. I want to believe this should be the last one, so. Because it's like 5 in the morning as always, and yeah, I'm losing comprehension half my stuff, so. Yay. And Ag always says this is the last one. This is definitely gonna be the last one, Shrike. Because again, even addicts need to sleep, and I think this. And despite again only being up for like 2 hours, I'm already getting sleepy again. So, it's how it is. Good. Yeah, I know. Don't worry. I mean, I kind of have to be up anyways. I kind of need to be up relatively early anyways, because, you know, as you know, every Sunday is usually the Balding with the Boys stream, so, yeah. Glad you're taking care of yourself. Definitely am, although, you know, or at least trying to, if nothing else. 24 seconds if you want to join. Anyways, last race of the night. Volume the Voice is in the middle of my big 3 game, so you can never watch it. Yeah, well, we'll see how it goes with this stream. I mean, usually most of the time there's at least 1 or 2 clips you could get from a Balding stream. Yeah, I feel like it's, you know, I mean, theoretically you get a lot out of the Balding stream, but we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes later today. Also, welcome back from ad break. Aline, I think you're in the lead yet again. Mm-hmm. I did not even pay attention to the fact that no. I mean, it would be a shame to end the race with, you know, with me completely dead, but, you know. Not gonna lie, I know this is in context of Marvels. That sounds really messed up if you take it out of context. Oh, Turtle Scholar! Damn, you were so close, too. So close. Question is, can Aline make it? And that she did. Okay, well, congratulations, Aline. Congratulations indeed. Sorry, I have been checking them so just to make sure everything's good. Yeah, I see she's doing a 3-minute ad break, so congratulations, Aline. Usually I would say this should be it. Unfortunately, the person that I was thinking about rating, unfortunately, is in the middle of an ad break. So, you know, by default, and because I don't think I can wait the 3 minutes. Just checking, no. No. Huh? Wait, I don't get it. Strike. I don't get it. One addict. Okay, fine. Like one more, just one more. Okay, one more, and I think we should be good. The Executioner, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Just one more. One more race for the road, okay? Also, yes, follower goals completed. 720. I know, Strike, I know. Look, this will be the last one, I promise. Fishman, if you keep doing this, I'm probably gonna have to pay you outright. You know? But yeah, 2 minutes 28 seconds. Because I'm not gonna lie, it has been kind of dragging the mood down just a little bit. So. Anyways, let me check on. I think the average finishing up over there. So. Yeah, first time Marbler. Anyways, admit if you want to join. Sorry, I'm just like I'm all over the place. But yeah. Oh god, not the Chucky's thing again. Well, safe to say this was clearly taken out of context. Yeah, it is. But anyways, that's besides the point. 30 seconds if you want to join. Alright, then we're off. Damn, I'm sorry, I didn't even check your stuff, Executioner, but yeah. Definitely hardcore marbler. Oh. Yep. What's up, McDillon? Like I said, unfortunately, the Peggy's command came and went. Also, I just realized how short this race was. I didn't realize. Oh, okay, it was that. Okay, we'll take that. But will we get it? Will I get it? It was the last race, you know, no better way to finish a race than you know, a good old first place finish. Because why not, right? Such a short course means we have time for one more. Well, we'll see. Maybe. Also, I feel bad because McDillon did just pop in. Okay, fine. You know what? Fine. Okay, fine. Only because McDillon. Only because of McDillon. Don't. Strike. Look, it'll be the last one. Alright, it'll be the last one. Look, for Swarzer Engel. If not for me, then Swarzer, right? Spay the long. Do not spay the long cat. Nor spray the long. Do not do either, please. Please. Look, I promise this will be the last race. I promise. Because again, it's almost morning time. I have to, you know. The long cat has got only one. Well, okay. I can't legally say this. Unfortunately, I'm obligated to say a full disclaimer. One ball in spirit, you know? Although, again, I may not physically have only one ball, but, you know, I'm always here to support my fellow Uniballers. You know, no matter what. Which is safe to say I actually know of two. So, you know, very fortunate when you think about it, right? The Unibar strikes again. It should strike again, but it be with me. Sorry. I'm a truthfully, I'll stick to well, annoy me, love me, however you want to say, but it is what it is. Also, Tetra, welcome in. You came in just in time. This should be the last race. I mean, granted, this is like the third time I've declared this will be the last race, but this will be the last race for sure. So, because again, morning is what it is. Also, Aiden Tori, welcome in. I think maybe this is the other thing I kind of like about Marvels. It just kind of brings in a lot of veteran Marvelers, or even beginner Marvelers. You know, it doesn't matter, but you know, it's always good to see you guys. I guess is what I'm saying. Yeah, first time Marveler. Always appreciate here on the channel, and yeah, you guys are. Actually surprised you guys are popping up at this point. XCX first time Marveler, indeed. We appreciate it here. Anyways, less than 30 seconds if you guys want to join. This should be the last race. This should be the last race. I want to say this should be the last race. It's still like at 80%. Do not peg this cat. The pegging command is dead. So we're here to celebrate the only way we know how. With Marvels. Like do the server stabbing. I don't know. You gotta ask Seth for that. Anyways, Turtle Scholar, welcome. Well, I'm saying welcome in. You've been here this entire time, Scholar. Again, hallucinating at this point, but it's how it is. Oh, Bo's okay. He's commanding your abomination. Yeah. I mean, that's about as good of a salute as you could give, so. What went wrong in your stream for a pegging command to even be made? You know, much like the Peg This Cat sticker that maybe you have seen, maybe you have not. I just kind of thought leaning into the bit would be a bit funny. Now, granted, a good chunk of my mods had disagreed with the notion that it would turn out as well, and ultimately they were right. It did not turn out as well because the moment I put that out there, everybody was kind of in on that, and like because FYI, like all that command really does is time you out, like in various different durations: 3 minutes, 12 seconds, 10 seconds, an hour. And I told them there was no reward, and then they still continued to do it. I think, and I did say, it probably didn't help that certain chatters definitely kept over promoting it as well. So I don't know. And so I was like, yeah, no, I definitely have to retire it. So yeah, now I get uppies. Like not all you get is the uppies command, which again, preferably you don't do that to me, but I can't tell you otherwise. So I like the peggies command. There's not much I can do with uppies. It exists. Yeah. Well, anyways, that's besides the point. Bell so far in the lead. Yeah. Also, it's and also this is just mere coincidence because again, a lot of the whole pegging lore has kind of has been there for a while, but it's gotten pretty bad to the point where now I pop into other people's streams and they immediately just type in peggies, not even like uppies anymore. Like within my friends' streams, like other friends, and I'm like, oh damn it. Here we go. Also, Tori, I'm sorry. 07 to you guys? Bells just overtook Fafito, who was cleared away for everybody. Yeah, and then he died. He unfortunately died. See, this is, the hardest workers. This is the worst of fate. They work hard and then, yeah. Just all this to say, life sucks and then he died. And then he collapsed. Anyways, I'm in the lead. On the plus side, at least Fafino's death will not be in vain because I got the lead and I will honor his memory. So, which will be the case. This has to be like 3 wins, right? 3 wins this entire stream? 3 wins, I'll take that. Yeah. 2 wins in a 2 wins in a row. Yep. It's a good day. It's a good day, There's no rigging, guys. Come on. There's no rigging. These races have always been fair. They've always been legit. I've said it every stream, and it will still be the case today. We need a non-rig race as the last one. I mean, we could, but I don't think it's gonna be this game. I don't think it's gonna be this stream because it's like 5:30 in the morning. I have to. Bo, where's Bo? No more. Yeah, I know. Don't worry about it. Anyways, no, we're good. Anyways, yeah, because like I said, 5:30 in the morning, I have to keep going. Yeah. I'm gonna regret this. I'm gonna regret this heavily. But exclamation mark play one last time. Okay, one last time. I promise. Strike. I promise. If I lie to you one more time, you are. I don't know what you could do to me, but whatever it is, It was, to be fair, it was like 4 times. It's true. To be fair, McDill, it was actually 4 times. But it is what it is. 2 minutes, 30 seconds, actually. But yeah, no, it'll be the last stream, and obviously, you know who I'm gonna rate it to, so. I don't. Well, if you don't know who I'm gonna raid to, it's the beauty of it. We'll keep it the surprise as is. But in the meantime, we'll just focus on one thing at a time, and that is this final race, which looks relatively simple. So this should be short, sweet. It should be good. So it is what it is. give up, he says, yeah, do not give up. Listen, okay, fine. If I continue to do one more race, you guys can give me all the uppies in the world. I'll hate it, but you know, a deal's a deal. I'll give you that deal. It'll definitely be the last race. See, that's how you know this is the last race for sure. So, because even then, I would never. My hatred for uppies will definitely block any attempts and my addiction for marbles, as well as my need to sleep. So, you know, it's a good. This will work. That's all I'm saying. So, yeah, exclamation mark play. 45 seconds. Freaking Capel. Listen, look. It's just how it is, you know? It just be how it be. Sometimes you gotta go with what fits the vibe, and the vibe right now is I need a lot of marbles. I need a lot of marbles in my system right now, you know? So, but I promise this is the last one, so. I mean, in my system being not, obviously not physically eating marbles, but you know how it is. Your purple L. Wait, you had a purple. Oh, wait. I know you had the L, but. Wait, did you change the purple? Also, yeah, FYI, if you are getting Twitch drops from this, daily reminder to always redeem them however as soon as you can, because I think they expire as soon as like the next day rolls by. So, you know, it's relatively easy to get points. So much so that you don't really even need to buy. Theoretically, do not even have to worry about buying anything in the in-game store. However, should you decide to buy it, use actual money for it, you know, think about using Career Code Shinsa you know, at the checkout. Now, granted, you're not getting a discount per se, but you know, if you ever want to tip the creator, well, not the creator of Marbles, but if you ever want to give me a little tip, and not that tip, I'm talking about the obvious, you know, like monetary tip, you know, even if it's just like a penny, which I don't think even exists from where I'm at, you know, don't hesitate, right? Alright, yeah, I did see that, McDillon. One last race. Fine, we'll use that as the raid. We'll use that as the raid message, but I also need like the non-sub equivalent. Actually, you know what? I'll just use the non-sub uppies raid as like for the non-subs if they want to. I see that purple L, so I know what tip. You know what tip I'm talking about. That's right. Why would we think about that tip? Oh, jeez, I don't know. You know. Also, Pirate 07. Anyways, that's besides the point. All this to say, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, 072 Fire. 072 Aline and 07 Strike. I can't believe everybody's dying in what seems to be a relatively simple map for the most part, but is how it is. And Fafina, why you stabbed an executioner, I will never understand. Anyways, it may come down to Bell and Fafino, or an executioner actually. And then you try to stab Executioner again, only to end up stabbing Aline. Damn. Fafino, you know that bot ain't cheap. And then, I'm just commentating on both ends. But also, Fafino, this could be your race. Will that purple L come through? It will not. You nearly had it, and no. Well, it is a literal L, unfortunately, for you, Fafino. Executioner? No. McDillon? I think... Congratulations, McDillon. You know, stuck around at the near end, and you got it. Now, moment of truth. Can I at least get the coveted third? I did not. I did not. Anyways, congratulations, McDillon, Turtle Scholar as well. The two survivors. As for everybody else, me, Aiden Tori, Executioner, Fafino, Tetra, Bell, Strike, Aline, Pirate, Jesus. You know, we all perished. Just like the Peggies command, we all perished. But you know, it is how it is. And yes, I will end stream. So you know, that I promise. So with that said, let's raid into Avo. Yeah, so we'll use one last raid, but for all the non-subs, mostly because I can't think of a non-sub emoji equivalent to a tail. You know, you use raid 2, which is just regular Uppy's raid. You know, for that emoji. So it is what it is. But yeah, it is what it is. Also, that timer's going down relatively fast. Anyways, all this to say, yeah, I know. You don't have to sub. You don't have to sub anymore. But it's what you can use exclamation mark play. Yeah, actually, that would make sense, right? That would make sense. If you, I'll let this keep running. But if you guys want to, you know, let that go, you know, hit that with that, you know, it is. But yeah, no. Short as it is, this was relatively okay. It was fun. Bit of up and down moment, but it is what it is. Tomorrow we'll see about trying. I'll see if I can try to stream one more time. Hopefully it'll be an actual editing stream for once, and not just me having nothing to do but play Marvel Z again. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But in any case, yeah. Until then, I'll see you guys later. I'm about to pass out. But yeah, have a good one. Also use Fafino's message if you can't. And yeah. Anyways. Probably. We'll see.